Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Atikah binti Johari and my metric number is 2022-499-554. Today, I'm going to present about the aspect in art that are against the principle of Islamic art. Before we going through about this topic, let's first see the mark form. Here, we can see the mark form for rubric of slide presentation and individual presentation. And let's continue for the next slide. Which this is the list of content that we will see in the furthermore, which is introduction, imitation of nature, idolatry, calligraphy, lack of spiritual value, and for the last conclusion. First, for the introduction, in Islamic art is the visual art created by Muslim and non-Muslim who was living in areas that were settled or governed by culturally Islamic population starting in the 7th century. Because it covers a period of over 1,400 years and numerous places and population, it is therefore an extremely difficult art to describe. Neither a particular faith, period, location, or media is represented in this work of art. Instead, a wide variety of artistic mediums are covered by Islamic art, which is calligraphy, painting, architecture, glass, ceramic, and textile that are common for us as a Muslim. And let's going through for the contents. First, about the aspect that against the principle of Islamic art, which is imitation of nature. How? According to Islam, since only God, which is Allah, is the one that capable of creating life, artists should not attempt to imitate life since it might have been led to astray. However, artists still can portray them to deliver what these living figures represent, instead copying them in their artwork. Since the focus of Islamic art is meant to be on Allah's uniqueness, which is Tawheed, human and animal form are thus rarely seen in Islamic artwork, but they are still can be found in household items like tiles and pottery. Let's move on to the next slide. Here I'm including some example, which is figure 1 by Mastura Abdul Rahman, interior number 29. This picture portrays the ruang ibu or mother space interior of a traditional Malay home, which is highlighted by batik themes. The painting's use of batik is likewise a symbol of female, much like the architecture space. So the design carries on the effort of the APS to represent Malay identity through a metaphor of motherhood. And as you can see from figure number 2, also by the same artist, which is named House of Flowers, House of Harmony. The Islamic faith places a high value on the sajadah or prayer mat, as you can see in the picture, and it was a mixed media artwork. Her stunning artwork shows the prayer mat as a cozy, caring element to reflect the importance of religious in her life. For the second aspect, that against the principle of Islamic art is idolatry. All phases of Islamic secular art contain depiction of the human figure and animals. According to Sharia law, the legal code of Islam, depiction of the human form in artwork used for religious purpose are forbidden and are seen as idolatry. According to some academics, artists who think that only God is capable of producing perfection may purposely include imperfection in their artwork as a sign of humility. And let's see the example, which is a figure 3 by Sheikh Ahmad Jamal. And there have been a few appearances of the figure silhouette in Datuk Sheikh Ahmad Jamal's painting. But this one is flashy, full frontal one that is working slightly to the left with two color spheres cutting into the body principle, as you can see in the picture. And a head whose upper half is in a grey color sphere. Above him is a half orb of yellow. Let's move to the next slide, which is the next aspect that against in the principle of Islamic art. Calligraphy. How is calligraphy count as that aspect? Because calligraphy is the most fundamental elements in Islamic art. That's why Quran that contains Allah's revelation to the Prophet Muhammad conveyed in Arabic. The Arabic script has the ability to develop the varieties of decorative form. One should keep in mind that calligraphy mostly serves as a way of delivering the text, yet in aesthetic appeal. So that means we can use calligraphy as much as we want to spread awareness about Islam, maybe. And next, here I'm giving the one of the example of calligraphy by Sheikh Ahmad Jamal, which called as Newman. He had a keen sense of awareness and respect for the natural world around him since he was a child. There were several rubber plantations in the little town where his family lived. Showing his great observational skill, Sheikh Ahmad would often find himself staring up at the sky and clouds, and he will wondering if God may be hiding among them. And last but not least, the aspect that gains in the principle of Islamic artwork that I can include in this uh, in this research is lack of spiritual value. In Islamic geometric pattern, four basic shapes are used to create Islamic geometric pattern, which is square, star, circle, and multi-sided polygon. And two simplest forms are the square and circle. Squares or triangles drawn in a circle give rise to the star form, and the eight-point star is a common motif in Islamic art. As a reflective kind of art that blends the religious with the commonplace, this form of expression has been able to produce a pure and abstract visual vocabulary that speak to its spiritual aesthetic needs and social concerns. Now, for the next slide, we will see the example of the lack of spiritual value, but it's not lacking. Here we have figure 5 by Ahmad Khalid Yusof. As you can see, this Malaysian artist artwork in the description, there has a blue and green columns and a rust brown sepia over blue patch are created by an L-shaped lattice of truncated grids with an orange sufficient frontispiece, as you can see in the picture that I I show. A sphere band in the middle rung and two rectangular grids on top. It's memorial to a loved one, someone dear to the heart. The Jawi calligraphic script squiggles, which resemble worms and pass throughout the alif bata imagery, can see in that example of art from 1971 serve as the combining feature. The letterings break through space like the Azan's prayer call, and that's where the point that they want to highlight from this artwork. And just by that, that the aspect that I can include in this project. And for the conclusion of overall that I have been present, it is important for us to understand that Islamic art is varied and continuous tradition, and that various Islamic cultures' historical period may have many views of its idea. Although this element may be viewed going against the fundamental of Islamic art, they are not always disapproved, and communities, academics, and artists may have different opinions about what constitutes Islamic art, Islamic culture, and ideas. Ideals are fundamental to Islamic art, which is still a vital and exciting form of artistic expression. Which means we need to appreciate the art that has been created by our people's artists from Malay world or Islamic art. And along the journey to finish my research, here is the reference I took, which is from various sites. As you can see, thanks to the thanks to the for thanks to the references that helped me to finish this project. And by that, that's the end of my presentation. And thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.